To what?
Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk.
Oh, I swear.
Oh, Baggedmilk.
And I'm hungry like
Baggedmilk.
Lots to talk about today. We'll start Baggedmilk with the Evander Kane thing. We did a very scientific locker room Twitter poll where we asked, would you like the Oilers to sign Evander Kane? And we got yes, 42.3%, 163 votes, and no, 57.7%. So that's about where I thought it would be. I thought it would be about 60%. No, yeah.
It's out there. Even on our site, you know, we've written about it a bunch of times over the last few days, and it just, the fan base is really split on this player specifically coming into town. So I know there was rumors last night that it's going to happen, but there's no confirmation yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the reaction is amongst the fan base if that actually goes through.
Yeah, I'm kind of, so my thing is like, I'm like, oh, you definitely help the team. If it's half a season, how much damage can he do? But at the same time, he's on like his fourth chance, and some of the allegations against him, like despite all the COVID stuff, you know, there's sexual abuse and stuff. It's like, man,
I think we've established that he is a complete douchebag, right? We've also established that that he's a good hockey player. So I think that's where the sort of the division comes, because we're desperate right now for something for this team, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question Evander Kane would improve your team on the ice. He's legitimately, without question, no hesitation, a top six forward that can score. He's tough, he's big, he's fast. But it's also, you can't ignore the off-ice allegations and the off-ice history. So what would that mean in the dressing room? I have no idea. I'm not in there, but there comes a point when, if you're talking about a second chance, in my opinion, of course, this guy is on more than two. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at this point. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. We're going to see. Obviously, the Oilers fan base is just a hornet's nest ready to be kicked, regardless of what happens with Evander Kane. But it's good. This one's going to be really interesting to watch play out, because if you take the insiders at their word, there's 15 to 20 teams looking at him right now. The Oilers amongst the top contenders, so someone is going to take a chance on him. It's just a matter of where and what that looks like.
I heard something interesting yesterday, and I thought I'd throw it at you. Someone was saying that that the Oilers would be a good spot for him to land based on what he's going through, based on the leadership and the structure behind the scenes of the Oilers. And I was like, what? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is unquestionably Connor and Leon's team. There's no doubt about it. And Darnell Nurse and Nugent Hopkins are obviously a big part of that leadership group as well. But how he fits into that group or adjusts to this dynamic, I don't know. I mean, you can read reports from the Sharks, the Sabres, the Jets about issues in the dressing room. Again, I'm not in there, so I have no idea. But again, this is it's a high risk, high reward, I think. And the story is only really just beginning. And it's going to be really interesting because, like I said, Edmonton's at the top of the list in terms of, or at least in the top 3-4 teams in terms of acquiring the player. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. This one is one that, like I said, and from your poll, it's very split.
Well, for Ken Holland, it's a big shakeup, and he doesn't have to trade anyone away or fire anybody.
Well, and that's just it, right? It's not very often that you could pick up a top six player, the caliber of Evander Kane, without having to give out assets or necessarily huge terms. So I get it from the on-ice perspective. What I don't know, and what will be interesting to see, is what decision the Oilers make relative to him being in the dressing room.
I think we can sort of establish right now and say quite with almost certainty that he will cause some chaos. He's pretty stupid. Like, he might be the dumbest athlete on the planet right now. So I think if you're thinking that he's just going to come in and, you know what, he's on his fifth chance, you know what, everybody, he probably won't do anything dumb here. I think the shoe's just waiting to drop as soon as he signs, right? He's a moron, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think this one is going to be interesting to watch. I think it's going to be interesting to follow. I don't have any of the answers. I don't know this guy personally, but just you read what you read, and it seems like there's a lot going on here. It's again, it's chance 5, 6, 7 instead of chance 2.
Does this distraction, is this the reason why Tippett might keep his job? I know Holland is not the fire the coach in the middle of the season GM.
I don't think he's ever done it.
He's never done it, but I mean, he didn't shut the door completely in the press conference yesterday when asked about getting rid of a coach. He said, well, if there's reason, I think that this distraction, the Evander Kane thing, gives Tippett some life. Is that wrong to make that connection between a coach and a player coming in?
I just don't think that there was any real chance ever of Ken Holland firing Dave Tippett anyway, regardless of what happened with Evander Kane. I think, like you said, Ken Holland's never fired a coach in season ever in his career as a GM. So I don't know why he would start here in Edmonton. Yes, things are going bad. They've only won 2 of their last 13, but that just doesn't seem like his MO. So the nice thing, I mean, Evander Kane was one thing, but the real nice distraction was Kodak Black at the Panthers game last night. That just kind of took Twitter in a completely different direction from eating itself. So I think that was really the rallying point we all needed. And I thank him for it.
If you didn't see it, it looked like Kodak Black, who's a rapper, may have been getting busy in one of the luxury boxes at the Panthers game.
Now, there was a second video that came out that just showed that it was dancing, but from across the arena, the original video, it certainly was not that clear. And man, that was a good time last night.
The first highlight I saw, it looked fairly obvious. Do we have other camera angles?
Yeah, we do actually. We actually do. The second camera angle is one of his boys in the box with him. So that cleared that one up. But man, were we having a good time until that second one came up.
All right. Are we even going to get through this season? Is all of this for naught?
I don't know what's going to happen, man. I'm watching the Bruins and the Capitals the other night, and it is packed in Boston. The arena is packed. So, and then you look what's going on here. And the Oilers are going to play one game in 2 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are the American teams going to finish up 82 and the Canadian teams have to shut it down at 60 or something? Like, I have no idea. We're only at game 33 or 34 in the Oilers schedule, something like that. I don't remember now, but it feels like we should be at game 70 at this point. I don't know what's going on. So that's a really good question, Locke. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? They're getting so far behind.
Grant was like, "Oh, they'll just add a week to the end of the season." I'm a week. What are you talking about?
Need more now.
They got to play 2 games a day if they want to. Yeah, it's crazy right now. And then there's going to be that sort of that gap between the games that like they're not playing now, and then the games they have to make up, and then the teams that have already finished the season are going to have to sit and wait. Like, that's not fair.
Was there a scheduled break for the Olympics?
Yes.
So there's 2 weeks they can make up there, right?
So there's 2 weeks there. There's 2 weeks there that they can make up. There's a buffer week, like Locke said, at the end of the year. That's just kind of always built in there. And then word kind of is that we're reading about is that they might shorten the All-Star break by a couple of days and try and cram some games into there as well. I don't know. I can just imagine how annoying it is for a schedule maker right now to be looking and trying to figure this out, because we're nearly halfway through January. Yeah. The Oilers have only played 3 games so far. They were supposed to play tonight against Minnesota, postponed. They were supposed to play Friday night against Vegas, postponed. Ottawa was supposed to be last weekend.
That's still
it's here this Saturday.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's actually going to happen at this point.
Put some more players in COVID, I think.
So
I think so, yeah.
Sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Vancouver added a couple the other day. Or not Vancouver, Edmonton added a couple of the other day.
Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Edmonton should also have a bunch of players coming out.
That's true.
In time for Saturday. So again, I don't know what's going on anymore. I wake up, I open up the site. I have basically at this point a template about player X, Y, or Z being added to COVID protocol. And it's this season just started off so normal, and now it's completely bananas by the time we've reached mid-January.
Quick, I want to sign off, but let's get a plug for your new podcast. When are you doing it? What's it called?
It's called Better Late Than Never, but late is spelled Lait. See what I did there? Huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna record it once a week. It's available everywhere you get your podcast from. It's just me diving into my weird sense of humor. I have guests come in to talk about the Oilers. I take your feedback as fans. I play them as voicemail. I play them as sound clips. So it's just a big mishmash of randomness and my silly sense of humor once a week for 30 to 40 minutes.
All right. Look for that where you get your podcasts. Thank you for your time. Baggedmilk, Oilers Nation.
Thanks, boys.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.